Obviously a positive reaction. We knew second half we were disappointed with our performance. First half was probably as well as we played in a long period of time, and it hurt us going in at 2-2 and not ahead in that game. Second half we couldn't quite match their direct play and their physicality, something we're trying to address on a daily basis. So we do need a reaction. It's another opportunity. We've got 5 opportunities left, starting with Port Vale at the weekend. But it's going to be a game we want to look forward to. You know, people talk about pressure, but that's why we're in this business. That's why the players train every day and work as hard as they do. It's for moments like this.
Port Vale this Saturday, they're coming to a bit of form of late. You imagine they'll come into it confident as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good run of form. Obviously the manager took over a few months ago now, and he has got them organised and got them sorted out and playing a specific way. We've got to look after ourselves. We showed the first half on Tuesday what a good team we can be if we get it right, and we'll be aiming to do that for a whole period, a whole match on Saturday, and get our good attacking players on the ball in dangerous areas. We know we've got to deal with some physicality and some direct play from any opposition at this level, but like I say, we've got good enough players to cope with that. We need to show it Saturday.
Good to see Ryan Bowman get off the mark as well in midweek. His performances have probably warranted a goal for a while.
Yeah, his work rate and he gives us a physical presence at the top of the pitch, but he's mobile. And he's been a little bit unlucky. Hit the crossbar early on against Newport, and then you can tell it plays on any forward's mind because they get judged on goals. And Lee Martin's delivery for that first goal was outstanding. And then the second goal was a sign of a confident striker. It's incredible what a goal does to a centre forward, because like I say, that's what it's judged on. We've been pleased with his performances, really have, but to add those goals to it, he'll be a serious player for us, and we're looking forward to working with Ryan for a number of years.
How's the team looking injury wise? Is there an update on Lee Martin in this situation?
Complicated one. We've got to send Lee for certain tests and more complicated tests than probably what I'm qualified to talk about, to be honest with you. But look, he came off at half time with a chest issue. We hope it's nothing too serious, but we've got to make sure he's physically able to play, and also mentally it's a big issue in terms of that. In terms of the rest of the group, obviously Hiram picked up a knock, which we hope will recover in time. Dean Moxey a dead leg. Troy Brown is physically draining a little bit on the back of 2 games early on his recovery back. Luke Kroll got through some game time last night at Exeter, and Aaron Martins joined the group again in terms of a little bit of training after a back injury. Apart from that, Jono's still got the long-standing knee injury, but you could see he played a bit part on Tuesday, and that will be him for the rest of this season. So a few issues, but we're getting there.
And 5 games to play now, 3 of which are at home. Do you think that could prove vital?
Yeah, definitely. You want to play at home. You want to play in front of your home fans. You want to put on a performance which everyone can be proud of. On the back of the Mansfield game, we were so disappointed, and we felt we put it right to a certain extent at Cheltenham, and probably been hurt by a couple of poor decisions along the way as well. But we're still hurting from the second half the other night. Like I said, the dressing room and the Germany home was not a sombre place, but a downbeat environment, and rightly so, because in that first period we did enough to be well ahead in that game, and not give the opposition a sniff. And the moment you give a team something to believe in, then it gives an impetus in the game. And like I say, we just couldn't quite handle it second half. It's going to be a pressure game. There's 5 games left. I can't hide the fact that there's pressure on us to get to us to where we want to be, and it's a pressure we have to embrace. And as players, I want the players to look forward to these games. Like I said, there's a lot of worse places to be in. You can be in the bottom end of the table in a relegation scrap, and players and personalities club have been in those situations in the past. We're at the right end of the table pushing for the right things, so it's got to be positive. Whatever happens this weekend, it won't be all finished. There's another 4 games after that, but like I said, we've got to attack this weekend.
And we saw City progress to the final of the Devon Bowl last night, a game where the youngsters had to battle back, and another good experience for them. Yeah,
like you just touched on the word experience there. I spoke to them after the game, and their aim is to play in our first team in front of 4,000 or 5,000 at the park. But games like that at Exeter on a Wednesday night in front of a couple of hundred people on a relatively poor pitch against an opposition who are physical and have to play a certain way will certainly aid their development. I thought they handled it pretty well. Went a goal down, unfortunately, and got themselves straight back into the game and had the character to go ahead and then see out the last 10 minutes when the opposition lost a little bit of discipline. So it's a learning curve for some of them. I think anyone who's there last night can testify that the loan experience our young boys are getting is really helping them. Physically, they look able to cope, which I'm looking at, because it's another step again in terms of first team football. But it's a cup final, and that group of players will get to play, and hopefully in another bigger occasion. We're talking about pressure situations. It's nowhere near the same as a Saturday afternoon, but it's a little bit of pressure and something to play for.
And just finally, an update on the backroom staff. Andrew Wiseman's left the club. Of course, we wish him well.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't quite settle. Obviously, the London lad couldn't quite settle in the area. So he's moved back to his home. I'm full credit to him in terms of how professional he was during that period. And we wish him well for the future.